We've had quite the heat wave recently, and it hasn't been any different in Europe. In the middle of all these hot days, there was just an electric double decker bus that went up in flames, and it wasn't on the road. It wasn't after a crash. It was actually sitting parked in its own garage. This is Stashed. I'm Pat, firefighter, mechanical engineer, and battery guy. This happened last week on June 24th, 2026, at the Westbourne Park bus garage in West London. The London Fire Brigade got the call around 6:23 in the evening. There were 4 fire engines, about 25 firefighters, and there were crews out of North Kensington and Paddington. They had it under control in about an hour, so it wasn't really that bad as far as getting things under control. But I'll tell you from personal experience, it's very difficult fighting a bus fire inside of a depot. It's a lot easier when it's outside in the open air. Now, the bus itself, it was completely destroyed. And there were 2 electric vehicle charging stations for the buses themselves that were also damaged. The smoke plume was visible for miles, and that's not all that surprising because buses are basically made out of gasoline in solid form. Lots of plastic. Before we talk about the fire and possible causes, I want to tell you what I actually know about this specific bus. And honestly, it really isn't much. Based on the reports, this appears to be a Metrodecker EV, built by Switch Mobility. I say looks like because there hasn't been any official mention of the model, just reports in the media. And the way things are going in the UK right now, this was definitely a diesel bus that's had the same route for the last 30 years. Normally I'd pull out the emergency response guide, talk about the battery location, etc., etc. But in this case, I actually could not find the emergency response guide. Nothing publicly available anyway. Hopefully the London Fire Brigade has access to one because it is critical information for first responders. Now, I was able to find specifics on the battery size, and that's a 300 kilowatt hour battery. I would expect that to be divided into 3 or 4 separate battery packs located in different locations in the vehicle, rather than just a single battery. So the question everyone's asking, why did this bus catch on fire? My channel's growing rapidly, and thanks for that. If you like this type of content, hit the subscribe button. My goal is 100,000 subscribers for 2026. At this time, no official cause has been announced, and it's really pretty difficult to determine a solid cause on a vehicle fire. The intensity of that fire, it destroys a lot of the evidence, but aside from just looking at the vehicle that burned, investigators can also look at things like security footage, or even a similar model of bus, because sometimes you'll find common mechanical failures across multiple vehicles. And that's what happened a few years ago. In May of 2022, a fire destroyed 6 electric buses at the Potter's Bar depot in London. 2 of those buses were also electric Metrodeckers. So just like the one that burned last week. The investigation found the cause. A conductive coolant had been mistakenly used in the battery system. But conductive coolant alone wouldn't have caused any issues. So it's extremely likely there had been a leak in the coolant system, and that would have started a fire. Now, I find that a bit surprising. Most electric vehicle batteries actually use conductive coolant. The only one I'm aware of right now that uses dielectric coolant, and that's certain brands of Hyundai vehicles. And that's because dielectric coolant is very expensive in comparison. With that said, if a pack is designed correctly, there shouldn't be any coolant getting to the cells anyway. But if there was a leak or some type of mechanical failure, that could be the cause of the fire. Or it could have been the result of these hotter days due to this heat wave. And I don't think we can blame it 100% on the heat. EV battery packs go through some serious environmental testing before they're ever approved to be on the road. Thermal testing, vibration testing, water ingress protection. They're supposed to be watertight because you can't fully seal up battery packs because they need to breathe with changes in atmospheric pressure and temperature. And that's always going to allow humidity intrusion. But they don't necessarily test to real-world conditions, especially when you're talking about heat waves like this, like what we're experiencing right now. The battery is going through multiple days of hot and cold. You're seeing humidity during the day, cooler nights. It will start building condensation inside that pack. The batteries don't like the moisture, and eventually there will be a catastrophic failure. And we've seen that multiple times, especially with electric buses. Sometimes it's due to corrosion on the bus bars, the connectors. That's typically a slow build to failure. Other times it turns into a direct short. That really makes the battery cells angry. Now, I'm not a big fan of electric buses, but probably not for the reason you're thinking. A lot of it is around the design, the build quantities, and the build quality. The validation process typically isn't as robust because these buses are typically built in small batches. Sometimes the builds aren't even using the same parts from batch to batch. But I believe the climate is important as well. Lithium-ion batteries like a nice stable temperature, a comfortable temperature. If you're not comfortable, neither are the batteries. So, in extreme climates, hot or cold, it can cause issues for the batteries at the cell level. I really don't believe in coincidences, and with the heat we've been seeing recently, there could be more vehicles at risk. I don't think they need to pull the entire fleet off the road, but it would probably be a good idea to spend some time inspecting and random sampling within their fleet.